Hello, everybody. Welcome to another weight loss journey uh, live stream or video. And it's a Sunday. Okay. It's been another week. The last time I was here was last Sunday. And I already have a couple of people here. And I see some people are starting to file in. And I have a very interesting and complex last week to describe to you as I get into it. So, hello to Mike Wall Jasper. Hello to Empty Glass. Hello to B Letty. All right. Yeah, I want to wait again till more people come here. It was a really weird week, 7 days or so, because I stayed true. I stayed on target. I left my goal right there. I never lost sight of my goal. I did not cheat on the diet, the lifestyle pattern. I did well. And yet, it was a frustrating week of not seeing results all week. All week, I stayed exactly the same until, through a miracle and happily, when I got on the scale this morning, as the week was up, I lost. And I am trying to figure this out. It's very perplexing. People know how difficult it can be when you're doing everything you're supposed to do and your body is not cooperating. You're doing your exercise. You're not straying from your path. You're not eating bad foods. You're giving up tons of carbs. You're giving up tons of sugar. You completely become a new person. And the scale doesn't budge. It makes you want to give up. It makes you want to say, the hell with this. I'm going to eat whatever the flip I want. And I'm going to cheat on the diet. And I'm just going to say, screw it. But I didn't do it. And I can't do it. I can't afford to do that. Because there's no sense in putting back the weight I already lost. And let me say at the beginning here, I am not a dietitian. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm just a person talking about his experience, what I'm doing. I'm just relaying it to you. Don't really know where to begin with this. As I say, the difficult thing when I start these live streams is I don't know how many people are going to join me in the middle of this. And I don't want to tell the whole story at the beginning, and then later on, as we go further, more people start joining. And when they join, then I got to repeat the story. Here I am with another LaCroix. This is key lime. I've had this already. I've tried this before. I like it. It's one of my favorites. Key lime, LaCroix seltzer. 0 fat, 0 sodium, 0 carbs, 0 protein, 0 calories. It's just got carbonated water and natural essences. So I was also wondering about this because of my body's unwillingness to cooperate this past week, and my metabolism not wanting to kick into gear. Now, for the one thing, I'm in my 60s now. When I was in my 20s, I dieted and lost a ton of weight back in my 20s. And when I was 30, you could see me at the age of 31 in the thumbnail that I often use for this, where you see me standing there with a Paul McCartney shirt, tour shirt. I lost like 70 pounds in 3 months when I was 30. It was easy then. Your body, you were younger, and the metabolism was faster. You burn calories a lot quicker. And hello to Day Tripper. And hello, never give up. That's it, Big Letty. And hello to Penny Lane. So, where do I begin? And how do I explain this to you all? Okay, as I say, I know people are going to be joining me later, and they're going to miss all this information. So maybe I'll save it for a while. But I'll probably mention this a few times as we go on here. Okay. This from last Sunday to this Sunday, I lost. If I do this right, I'm just starting now. Jill, just coming in. Did I miss anything? Yeah, just how disgusted I was this week. Absolutely disgusted because I did everything right. I didn't stray one bit, didn't cheat one bit, and that scale would not move. So this past week, I lost 9.6 ounces. Not 9 pounds, 9.6 ounces this week. And I looked that up, I looked that up by online, what it was. So what it comes down to is, as of today, I've been on my diet for 5 weeks. And the exact amount that I've lost now is 10.6 pounds, I believe. I think I got that right. 10.6 pounds in 5 weeks. Now, I did all kinds of research, and I know that 10.6 pounds in 5 weeks is good. It's very good. It's safe. They say that you want to you lose no more than 1 or 2 pounds a week. I'd love to lose 2 pounds a week, as I always say. So I'm right now. I am over it. Right, I'm over the 2 pounds a week. 10.6, 2 pounds a week would be 10. So I'm over the 2 pounds a week. So it's successful, right? And that leads me into what I say about realizing, as I've said many, many times, that some weeks you're going to see maybe 2-3 pounds weight loss. Some weeks you're going to see 1 pound. Sometimes you're going to see ounces. Sometimes you may even gain weight. Sometimes it may stay the same. I kept on walking. Not only did I walk, because last week I wasn't satisfied either. Not only did I walk this week, but I walked an extra 10 minutes. I went from walking 30 minutes to walking 40 minutes. I boosted up the walking time 10 minutes. I walked 40 minutes every day from 30. I thought that alone would help me. Nope. And I tell you, it's so much easier to talk about this when I give you the actual weight numbers. Because when I talk in like how many pounds and ounces I lost, it's a little more crazy. All right. So I'm going to give you the numbers. Okay. And Jill says here, hold on a minute maybe I'll give you the numbers here. That's 3/4 pound in 2 weeks. Not bad. Yes, that average is good. You locked in that first 2 weeks loss. It's fine. See, the thing is that it depends on when you weigh yourself, right? Like, as I say, so far in 5 weeks, I've lost 10.6 pounds. That's very good. Or you could say in the last 4 weeks, in 1 month, I lost 5 pounds and 3.2 ounces. I didn't know you could split ounces like that. 5 pounds, 3.2 ounces in 4 weeks. So 5 pounds in a month, 5 pounds, 3 ounces in a month. It's not where I want to be. I want to lose 7 pounds in a month. I want to lose 8. I'll take 7. I'd like to lose 8. I'll settle for 7. 4 or 5 a month, 4 or 5 every 4 weeks ain't going to cut it. And I don't have much choice, do I? Because at my age and my metabolism speed, it is what it is. If I wind up only losing 4 or 5 pounds a month, that's what it's going to be. If I only wind up losing 48 pounds in a year or 60 pounds in a year, if lucky, I will not be satisfied with that. I'll tell you the truth. I will not be satisfied losing only 48 pounds in a year or 60 pounds in a year, even though I don't have a choice. What choice do I have? Either you're going to accept it and go at the slow pace that your body's working at, or you're going to just say, screw it. I'm going to go completely back to what I was doing before. And that's not an option, because all that's going to do is put all the weight back and more. I'll get back to where I was when I started, and I'll go up. You have to take it. Sure, I'd like to lose 100 pounds in a year. Sure. I'm lucky. Ideally, I'd like to hit like no less than 84. That's 7 pounds a month. I'd like to be a year from now when summer starts next year. I'd like to be able to say I lost 84 pounds in a year. Minimum. That's minimum. More is better. But I'm going to have to take what I can. Hi, George. What's a typical dinner look like for you these days? It's some kind of meat, whether it's chicken. Last night I had a pork chop. Sometimes ground beef, beef. Sometimes fish, and a salad. And then or a vegetable. Salad or a vegetable. So that's the answer to that. I'm not gonna, the nutritionist. I'm not ready to go there, Eddie, and mostly because I know me, and I know I'm going to get into arguments with the nutritionist. I know I'm going to say, I've done that. I know. You're not telling me anything I don't know. I realize this. What do you, I know we're going to butt heads. So I'm not ready for that yet. I'm very disappointed. I'm trying to think of, the last 2 weeks have been really slow. And to see that scale stay the same, and it was staying the same down to the ounce. It was exactly the same. And the funny thing is, I don't know how to word this, but picture a week's calendar in your mind, Sunday to Sunday. All right. Last Sunday I weighed what I weighed. Tuesday I lost. Last Tuesday I lost, and Tuesday I was where I am today. That makes sense. Tuesday I was down to where I am today, and I thought it was only going to go down more from there. Instead, it went up again to where it was on Sunday, and it stayed there. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Every day I would walk 40 minutes, boosting it up from 30. Every day I continue to eat right, and then I get on the scale, and every day and I didn't get on every day. You shouldn't weigh yourself every day. I know that, but I would weigh myself every 2 or 3 times, and every time I did, it would stay the same as it was last Sunday. I don't know why. Tuesday went down a notch, and then it went up again. It was here on Sunday. It went down to here on Tuesday. Then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday went same as Sunday. And now this morning it went down again to where it was on Tuesday. And I really think it's easier to talk about this in terms of the numbers. Nobody likes to say the numbers, and I don't love saying the numbers either. It's easy to talk about it when you say numbers. So here it is. Back on June 21st, when I started, I was the heaviest weight that I ever was in my life. I never in my life, at my heaviest even, got to 300 pounds, ever. When I got to June 21st, I was 319.2. That's it. That is my highest weight. I said, that's insane. So I started on this first day of summer, 319.2. Today I weigh 308.6. So I went from 319.2 to 308.6, which is a loss of 10.6 pounds for 5 weeks. Very good, like I said. Let's just take this past week, and I appreciate some people are coming in here, and I'm going to address your comments as I go. All right. Last Sunday, I weighed 309.2, right, on Sunday. Then Monday, I was also, I didn't weigh myself Monday. I'm sorry. Tuesday, I weighed myself, and I was 308.6, what I am today. And I'm like, wow, I went from 309.2 on Sunday to 308.6 on Tuesday, and this is only Tuesday. I'm going to be down to 307, boy, by the time we get to Sunday, right? 306. But it went back up to 309.2, and it stayed there. It stayed there Wednesday, it stayed there Thursday, it stayed there Friday, and it stayed there Saturday. 309.2 all week, despite everything that I did. Whenever I go on the scale, and it wasn't every day, it was a couple of times more. But I assume it was the same the other days I didn't weigh myself. How could it be the same to the ounce? I don't know. And then today, knock wood, it got back down to 308.6 for a total loss of 9.6 ounces this week. So anyway, you want to play with numbers? There's the numbers. What's my goal? What's my goal at the end of all this? 175. That's my goal. A tremendous goal considering my age and everything. And I could see the metabolism is stopped or very slow. And I know everybody has theories. I've watched people's comments. I've read other people books or online. I've watched videos, all kinds of stuff. And I know this can happen. And I really do believe in starvation mode. Some people don't believe in that. Okay, I believe in it. My body tells me. My body right now is saying, "Hey, this guy's not eating what he used to eat. He's starving himself. So that's it. I'm going to hold on to the weight because this guy's not eating enough." That's exactly what I think is going on. I believe in starvation mode completely. I'll tell you something else. This stuff, which again, this LaCroix drink, this is going to blow people's minds. It's just a theory I have. Since I started drinking this is when I've stayed at the same weight. I've stayed at the same weight, 309.2, since I started drinking this. And like I say, it has no calories, no sodium, no fat, no sugar, no juice, no nothing. It's carbonated water. Now, am I staying like this? Is it the carbonation in the air that's keeping it? I don't know. But I'll tell you this much. Yesterday, stay with me here. Yesterday, I went one day without drinking any of this. Usually I drink 2 cans a day, maybe, well, hardly 3, but usually 2. Yesterday, I didn't drink any carbonated seltzer. And this morning I get up and I'm finally lost weight. I don't know if it has anything to do with it. I'm just telling you. Also, I started getting into anchovies a little bit. I was buying anchovies. Yeah, I love it. I used to be a guy that would eat a big hero sandwich, would drink a couple of glasses of soda, right? I would have ice cream, whatever whatever I wanted to eat, pizza, all this stuff. I stopped doing all that, and I got into anchovies like the last few weeks. And I'd take like 3 or 4 anchovies. I know they're full of salt. And I even tried rinsing them a little bit, but they're still salty. The only thing that I've added into my diet was this carbonated seltzer drink and anchovies with the salt. That's it. So it's infuriating, it's frustrating, but I'm not giving up. Believe me, I was getting depressed. I was the last couple of days because I'm like, I've said this before. I don't mind when I'm not trying. When I'm not trying, then I deserve everything I get. If you're not trying, you don't care, and you're let's let it build up and build up and build up. You deserve what you get. As far as I'm concerned, you don't care enough. But when I'm doing really good and I don't see a change, that's when I get pissed off. I have a thing that I say, you want to see how a guy holds on to this kind of weight? I'll show you how you want to see how a guy gains a few pounds? I'll show you how a guy gains a few pounds. Give me that pizza. Give me that pasta. Give me that bread. I'll show you how to gain weight. I can do it. That's what pisses me off. And I'm not the only guy. I'm not the only guy that feels that way. Everybody knows, men and women alike. And there's people out there, and you know who you are, some people watching me now, that are naturally thin. Those are usually the guys that throw the wisecracks. Go ahead. They're usually the guys that make judgments, that call you weak or call you this or disgusting, or you don't have any willpower, whatever it is. You don't know what you're talking about when a person's really trying hard and they're not getting where they want to be. So I'm going to just take a moment here to take a few more comments. Let me just do it. Okay. Now, okay, I think this is what she wants to say. Eat clean and healthy in a way you can maintain forever. Of course. Go too crazy, cutting and focusing too much on pounds can set you back long term, oddly. Yeah, I know. No, really, I do. Jill's used to hearing this. I always tell her, I know. What are you telling? I know. I do that all the time. No, I do. I know. I know. Hello, Vivian. Vivian says, my doctor signed me up for a nutritionist service. I've actually gained weight because it makes me nervous to have a stranger going over what I eat every day. I just need to be left alone. Interesting, because it works differently for different people. Now, should I be drinking this stuff? As I say, there's no calories in here. There's no sugar in here. There's no sodium in here. There's no nothing in here except carbonated water. I don't know. I don't have to have that. I could stick with water. And that's exactly what Eddie said at one point. He said, you should just drink plain water. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. How tall are you, if I may ask? 5'6". Do you cheat on your diet at all? Little bits here and there that you do real quick? A lot of times when people are asked that, they say, I'm not cheating, I'm perfect. Then they say, well, I did have a little bit. We have honey in the house. Once in a while, I'll take a little honey on a spoon, or so I have a little honey just to sweet tooth. That's it. And the funny thing is, last night I did that. I had some honey last night. Okay. And even though I had a little honey, I still lost the weight this morning. Other that nights, I won't have any honey, and I'll stay exactly the same and not budge. Makes sense? Doesn't make sense. You probably just stopped losing weight because you lost the water weight, and the LaCroix happened at the same time. Yeah, that's interesting. Are there some kind of natural flavors in that? Yeah, there are. It's called essences, and I looked it up to see what is put in LaCroix, and it says essences are basically fruit peels. They take the peel of the fruit and they either boil it or do something to it to extract the flavor from it. You know, it's not fruit juice. It's not artificial sweeteners. So we'll see how that goes. I might stop these just to see what happens. Once you are way overweight, the metabolism slows way down and insulin resistance gets worse, which makes losing harder. But you can't fix the metabolism of a life overnight. Just be patient and go. Exactly. I'm not going to stop, Jill. I'm not going to stop. I mean, I'm not saying never. If I'm still where I'm at, this is July. If I'm still where I'm at in September, I'm seriously going to think about having a slice of pizza. I mean, you know what I mean? I don't know. Right now, I'm nowhere near wanting to quit. I'm not going to quit. I do think there's something about that. I do think your body is not yet used to the new routine. I think eventually my body and a person's body gets used to a new lifestyle pattern, a new eating pattern, a new nutrition pattern. It starts to get used to not having carbs, starts to get used to not having sugar, and eventually it'll cooperate. Also, I'm thinking that I don't, not to weigh myself too often. Of course, I say that. Hold on. Just writing some notes so I don't forget. I'm thinking about it, and I don't think I can do it, only weighing myself once a month. You see, because the thing I heard is that stress is not good. If you have a lot of stress, I've always had stress. I've been a stressed kind of person since I was a boy. No reason. I'm a stressed, nervous kind of guy, anxious kind of guy. What can I tell you? We all have different dispositions. So I'm stressed a lot. Plus, life sucks. The 21st century sucks. Everything that we all deal with, bills, sickness. As I'm talking to you, I got a pain on the side of my tongue. For some reason, I got a little bump there that keeps getting like aggravated by a tooth. I just keep scraping the tooth, and that makes me aggravated. So we all have to. So stress will do this to you. Stress will actually get in the way of you losing weight, and another kind of stress is when you weigh in every day or weigh in 3 times a week or 4 times a week, and you don't see the scale going where you want to go, and it fluctuates, goes up, goes down, goes up, stays the same. That creates more stress. So I'm thinking about not weighing myself more than once a month, or at the very most every 2 Sundays, something like that. So I don't know. We'll see. Hello, Spring Heel Jim. I'm not sure what you mean by this. I don't know what's going on. Hello, Laura. Yeah, it's so frustrating. I just watched this really interesting video on YouTube. UK doctor switches to 80% ultra processed food diet for 30 days. I don't know. I'll tell you, I'm really impressed by everything I see on carnivore. I'm sorry. Everybody, if you watch videos on carnivore, people just eat meat and eggs, man. and they all lose weight. They lose weight. They feel great. Their brains are clear. They're focused. Their skin clears up. Their skin is more glowing. They look fantastic, and they swear by it. All these carnivore people. I just don't want. I just don't want to eat nothing but meat and eggs. I Most of what I eat now, I guess, is meat and eggs. No sugary foods or breads, but I eat vegetables still, and I eat fruit still. I've been trying to eat more berries. I still eat bananas. Bananas I know are high in carbs and sugars. I'm trying to eat no more than one banana a day. But I also want to get potassium, so I have a banana to keep the potassium. Drink mostly water, but 1 or 2 LaCroix a day should be okay. Well, that's what I do. Like I said, the only thing I drink is water or the LaCroix. That's it. Mostly water. I don't think it's a seltzer. I'm drinking that as well. I haven't gained from drinking it. Perhaps it was the anchovies that have a lot of sodium in it, as well as soups, which I'm sure you know. Yeah, I've been having some soup. The soups that I have, if you have Campbell's, like I love Campbell's tomato soup. Okay, I don't drink. I don't eat Campbell's tomato soup every day. I have it maybe once every 2 weeks or something, 1 can every 2 weeks, something like that, or 1 a week at the most. And I know that I love Campbell's tomato soup because it's got sodium in it, it's got sweetener, it's got corn syrup, it's got starch. That's why I like it. But as I say, I'm not here to be totally Stone Age. I'm not here to be totally Stone Age diet. Don't eat anything that has even a grain of sugar in it or a grain of salt. I don't go that fanatical, And the thing about this, when Penny Lane says, I'm drinking that as well, and I haven't gained from drinking it. Well, the only thing I could say is that people are different, maybe. Maybe it's because people are different. I don't know. Absolutely not. Absolutely. I've been through this before, Adam. No hidden Oreos under the bed. I would tell you the truth. And again, I have the Wantpower. I want to lose the weight. I don't want to eat crap. There is no temptation. Let me repeat that. There is no temptation because my mind is in a really good place about it. It's not even an option to think about eating Oreos. Not now, anyway. I mean, maybe 7, 8 months, a year from now, maybe once a month, or maybe not ever. We'll see how it goes. That's down the line. If I'll even bother ever eating it. But no, there's no crap foods. You have to accept that. You have to believe me, and that's it. I'll tell you if I do. The most I eat that's bad is the honey. I am agreeing with you and like your new mental attitude towards this journey. Yes, absolutely. Just like I just said, nothing is going to shake me from this. Now, the thing is, I say that now, as of today's date, July 26th of 2026, nothing's going to shake me. I've been saying that since June 21st. Will I change my mind next month? Will I change my mind September? Come to Thanksgiving time, will I throw it all into the garbage? I don't think so. I can't afford to. That's how I look at it. I cannot afford to anymore. But I think natural flavors are raccoon farts. But I still drink seltzer water anyways. Hello, Kimber. Well, hopefully they're not raccoon farts. Hopefully they're like lime. In this case, key lime. Hope they're lime farts. But the honey isn't affecting day to day, but to heal the metabolism and insulin resistance, I definitely cut any added sugar source out if it's not from low carb veggies or berries. Yeah, I started having berries, and the problem with berries, like. I've been buying strawberries and I've been buying blackberries. 2 things wrong with that. Number 1, they turn bad fast. They start getting hairy and white fuzz on them fast. If you don't eat I get a little thing of blackberries, a little square little container, and I could go through all those blackberries in a day or 2. I mean, sometimes I'll only have 2 or 3 blackberries, but they only last about 2 days, if you're going to eat them instead of anything else. So, and you have to eat them fast, otherwise they're going to get fuzzy and rot. How are you preparing your foods? Are you cooking fresh veggies or frozen? Well, I'll say one thing. My girlfriend does the cooking. She does everything frozen vegetables. She uses frozen vegetables. Yeah, and you say frozen vegetables are good if they're not junked up like with flavoring or cheese or something. No. Uh, Strict carnivore, not a bad idea to try for 6 months or so to jumpstart things and heal metabolism more. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you out there have watched videos of carnivore people that swear by it. We've had a lot of good luck. There's a lot of people that I watch. And the only thing is, I don't love meat to the point where I've never been a big fan of meat. Growing up as a child, no surprise, I loved macaroni. I loved pasta. I loved sandwiches. I loved the tuna sandwich. I love cold cuts. I like bologna, liverwurst sandwiches, putting the mayo on there and the Miracle Whip and all that stuff and the mustard. Putting that's what I like. Sandwiches, pasta, cake, and garbage. In a word, garbage. That's how I grew up. Uh, all that starch and all that, well, that's the crap. That's what I ate. As a child, I only tolerated meat. Every time we were going to have meat for dinner, I didn't like it. But now I'm an adult, and that's long gone. Now I like meat. Now I like meat, but I don't want to only eat meat. I'm still not wild about steak. I'll eat beef and like hamburger. But and I like steak if it's tender, if it's prime rib, or if it's something really smooth, like it just melts in your mouth. I don't like chewy meat. I don't like a pot roast that tastes like cardboard and chew until you spit it out because it won't break down. I hate that. Okay. Chicken, I like chicken. I like fish. I like liver, organ meat. So I've had liver. That's fun. Another thing is we talk about not eating after dinner. Another thing you got to remember is, again, I've said this before. My girlfriend's got different work hours. Sometimes she's home early, and then we can have a normal hour dinner. We can eat like 6 or 7 o'clock. But like last night, I ate dinner at 8:30 at night. She was late. She worked late. By the time she got home and threw something together, it was 8:30. 8:30 is too late to eat dinner. But still, even though I ate last night at 8:30, and even though around 10 o'clock I had a little bit of honey, I was fearing the worst when I got on the scale this morning and I freaking lost. There I am eating a pork chop at 8:30 at night. There I am having a little bit of a teaspoon of honey or something at 10 o'clock at night. And I'm like, oh, gee, when I get on for the show today, when I get on the scale, I freaking lost weight. Other nights I was fine and I didn't lose anything. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. People will tell you that sometimes it's necessary to eat something bad or to eat. When I say bad, I don't mean like ice cream or candy. I'm talking about like a sandwich. Have a sandwich, have some bread, have a couple of slices of bread, a little sandwich, a whole wheat sandwich. And that'll kick your metabolism, jumpstart it. Some people believe that, and I believe it too. I fully believe that if I had something like a decent sized sandwich yesterday, I might have been here and losing more weight today. I really do believe that, but I'm not ready to do that. Water, protein, walking in weights is a great start to success. Well, I haven't done the weights. I've done the water and the protein and the walking, I think you do yourself a favor and cut out the bananas. Try for 2 weeks. I think that might be the culprit. It's true. I love bananas. Why do I love them? Because they're sweet. They're close. Bananas are the closest thing you can get to eating candy or something bad without actually eating something bad. But I still, I use the excuse that, I want to keep the potassium going. I have a thing where my legs bother me if I don't have potassium. If I don't have enough potassium, I get like pain in my leg. And if I eat like, another thing is I'm going to try, 1 banana a day instead of 2. I've been known to eat 2 bananas a day, 3 even sometimes. But I always think if you're eating a banana, it's better than eating 2, 3 slices of pizza. That's what I think, but maybe I got to stop thinking that. Maybe one banana a day and no more than one banana a day. And early in the day, instead of eating it at 9 o'clock at night or 10 o'clock at night as a snack, have it like, in the morning when have it like 10 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, but still empty glass. Cutting out bananas is still something I can try if my potassium holds up. Dave, what's going on? Do you consider the timing of your carbs? I think you mentioned banana at night. Yeah. That's not good. Right. I was just saying, I didn't even see your comment, and I said that. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Exactly. I heard a nutritionist say how lime seltzer and black cherry seltzer can actually boost the metabolism. Well, if that's the case, let's go. How sweet it is. Hard to do that when you have a little tiny little bump or pimple on your tongue or something. God. Before you'd quit in September or December or whatever, cut out any added sugar sauce or high sugar fruits, honey, tomato soup, etc. Absolutely. Oh, don't worry. I'm nowhere near there, Jill. I'm nowhere near there. I'm telling you, I know I've talked to you before. We've talked, and you know how I feel about it. At times I just give up. I just say, forget it. I'm not there anymore. And hopefully I stay not being there anymore, that I don't go back. Because I know now more than ever that it's a frustrating thing, because in the past you just might say, well, I'm not getting the results I want, so I'm just going to stop. I'm going to give up. I'm going to eat whatever the hell I want. I don't give a shit no more. Used to do that. I can't afford to do that anymore. I'm in my 60s, right? Do I want to go back up to where I was before? No, I don't. Absolutely not. Do I want to go up to where I was? Say I was here. Do I want to go from here? Do I want to go from here back up to there? Maybe even past? I don't think so. Frozen berries are great. You can get organic and it's cheaper. Okay, that's something to keep in mind. Hey, it's good to see Beetle Babe here. Hello, Beetle Babe. She says, a shame you don't live out this way where you could grow the blackberries. Just pick however many from the vine on the given day. Well, is that a reason I should move to California? I wonder, to pick the berries off the trees. Yeah. But yeah, folks, I'm really, believe me, when I tell you, it's one thing, as I said earlier, for those who might not have been here, it's one thing when I'm not really even trying and I'm cheating all over the place and I can't see results. I deserve what I get. When I'm trying real hard, that's when it's painful. When you're really trying, it's rough. So I'm just going to keep going. I'm not giving up. Yeah, bananas are oddly high calories. Absolutely. And I've heard that avocado is high in calories. Avocado is good for you, but it's high in calories. On the berries, get frozen ones. There you go. Get frozen berries and get out what you eat each time, and let sit out a half hour or on account of the frost before you eat. No waste this way. That's very interesting. That's very good. I appreciate that advice. I might look into that. I like that. I use frozen berries, water, and Greek yogurt for homemade smoothies. Throw in some ginger, cinnamon, and turmeric powder. What doesn't show up that fast overnight? That's why it doesn't make sense. It's what you can't see that bread and sugar do over time, not just on the scale day to day. This is true too. You don't always see it, right? It takes time. Other ways to get potassium is an avocado. My girlfriend loves avocado. Okay, almost every night she cuts them up and puts them in my salad. I like, but here's the thing. I like avocado. I like avocado when it's soft. Sometimes it's not quite ripe, but it's hard. I don't like hard avocado in my salad. I like soft, smooth. I I say this to help. I think you are sabotaging yourself, thinking you're eating healthy. The fruit is full of sugar. I think you'll be fine without bananas. No problem. Empty glass. This is what I want. Any tips I can get are fine. Now I realize that having no sugar at all is the best thing. It's better to have no fruit. It's better than eating fruit, I think. The fruit it's full of sugar, but to me, I always think it's natural sugar. It's fructose. Am I right? Like it's not sucrose. Sucrose is white table sugar. Fructose is natural fruit sugar. Like watermelon, for example. I had some watermelon the other day. Watermelon, I believe, is supposed to be one of the best low-calorie natural fruits to eat. It takes care of that sweet tooth. But now the thing is, like I said, somewhere along the line, empty glass, I may make the decision to indeed get rid of all fruit. I might. But I think berries, I'm okay with berries. That helps a little bit. We'll see. I don't doubt what you're saying. I don't doubt what you're saying. I believe that probably ideally fruit is best left gone too. Then there's this here. Instead of bananas, eat apples instead. Yeah, I've tried that as well. And yeah, I like apples. Not a problem with that. This is Richard James is putting this in as a joke. Mellow D used to always beat me over the head about the chicken soup diet. Chicken soup diet. Yeah, I'm not going to live on chicken soup. You do seem to have a way different attitude and learn from the past. That's great. Absolutely. The main thing, you have to live and learn. We have to live and learn, right? And, and Beetle Babe's here. And I remember Beetle Babe asking me in a comment last year. What happened was last year, let's go back to 2025. I was doing great from March to August. And I remember in August, I started cheating on the diet. And then I was gaining up some weight. And I think Beetle Babe said something like, do you think you're going to be able to sustain it again and start back up again? And I said, absolutely, no problem. Now, of course, I'm paraphrasing. This was last August. It's almost a year. This is July. And it's almost a year ago last August. And I said, yeah, oh, sure, no problem. I can do. That's a year already. You believe it? And then, of course, I didn't. It snowballed and snowballed and snowballed, and then I just cheated from August of last year until June of this year. 10 months. 10 months it lasted. Anyway, we grow those all along our back fences, so there's tons. Yes, the avocado is indeed incredibly healthy. I have no problems with avocado. It's just that it supposedly it is a little fat. It's fatty or whatever, but it's okay. Hello to James Farley. Yeah, but Beetle Babe, you remember that? She says, I did say that. Yes, indeed. I seem to remember that. Yeah, hard avocados are awful. And no fructose in avocado and lots of fiber and potassium. Stick to a half avocado a day to avoid too many calories. On a salad, they're good on a salad or mixed with cucumbers and tomato. I spoke from experience that time on that one. That was why I asked. Absolutely. Have you tried Greek yogurt? I have. Yes, the one I used was, but the Greek yogurt I think was vanilla, so it's probably got a little sugar in it. Yeah. Is that what you're talking about? There's one. What's the name of it? Chopay. What is C? Chopani or something like that. That's the one I was eating. Is that a good one? It's the good fats that are in avocado. Yes, right. I know. Yeah, I know. There's good fats and there's bad fats, and I know the good ones are in avocado. Yes, I know that. Cheers. This is my big sugar fix. There's no sugar in here, but I'm saying. Get that carbonation. There it is, Chobani. That's the one. When I do get the Greek yogurt, I get that, and it's sweet. It tastes like vitamin. Yeah. I also eat hummus. I don't know if anybody does that. I eat hummus, and I can do 3 or 4 spoons of hummus for a snack. You know, see, there it is. Too much sugar with vanilla flavoring. That's usually the one. Try plain. Add a few slices of one strawberry. Exactly. Yeah, I like that idea. I like that idea. And that's something that I can do. That's something that I can do and I will do. Because when you stop eating a lot of sugar shit, when you stop eating cake and ice cream and cookies and things like that, and you just have plain yogurt with some natural fruit chopped in it, it satisfies the sweet tooth. So, man, I miss my salads. This lettuce produce parasite is really messing with my normal healthy meal. But we eat salads every night. I mean, I know that thing's going around. It's scaring people. You can't live like that. I mean, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't sometimes do the same. I mean, I've heard some news reports in the past I wouldn't touch certain things, like when they had the listeria outbreak, when they had the boar's head cold cuts, and the boar's head cold cuts were like. By the way, I know deli meat cold cuts are bad. I know that. That's another thing I do. By the way, I didn't tell you that, did I? We have low salt ham, low sodium ham cold cuts. And sometimes for a snack, like in the middle of the day between meals, I'll take 1 or 2 slices and roll them up with a little either mustard or mayo. Yes, mayo. You heard me, mayonnaise. Yes. And I put it on and I roll it up and I eat 2 slices, maybe 3 slices of low sodium ham. You know, I'm not putting it on a hero with tons of bread and slathering everything on there. But anyway, yeah, I just think this whole thing. I mean, we've been having lettuce in the box, the plastic box. So far, so good, but who knows? I've never been more grateful that we put in the hard work on keeping a home garden going. Totally unfazed by the poop lettuce. There you go, the poop lettuce. I put my frozen berries in plain Greek yogurt. It's great, exactly. Low sodium is good, right? Salt makes you retain water, so the less you can ingest, the better. Sure. Now the thing is, you know, what am I eating that's really salty? Well, like I said, I just started anchovies this month. The last few, exactly when I started. Ironically enough, exactly at the period that I started, the weight wouldn't go down. I was doing anchovy every night when we had salad. I started buying. I bought like two little bottles of anchovies over the last 3 weeks. That's exactly, ironically, that's exactly when I wasn't losing the weight. And we put them in a salad. And sometimes when I wanted a snack, I'd go in and get the bottle out, and I'd take 2 or 3 of them, and I'd eat them like that. So I even tried rinsing them off. People said rinse off the salt, so I rinsed off the salt and tried that. But I think that has something to do with it. It's a damn shame that you can't even say, well, I'm going to have a snack, but instead of having cookies and ice cream and cake and pie, and instead of having a big sandwich, I'm just going to have 2 or 3 anchovies out of the jar, and that's not good. I wonder if there's an environmental factor around this time of year that's going on. It could be retained fluid from the anchovies, exactly. And people with adrenal issues actually crave salt. Yep. All right. Then I'm trying to decide, do I do these shows every week? Do I come back here every week? And I really got to tell you, thank you to everybody that's in here. To see more people here in the comments than there were in my past live streams on this, I really appreciate that. I know you can't always make it, but it means a lot to me. And this is exactly what I'm trying to do. We're trying to do support. I want to hear what you're doing. I'll tell you what I'm doing. Support each other. That's the idea of this. That's why I want to do this. It makes me want to do it once a week. But I don't know. I don't want to keep coming back here and saying, oh, I only lost 5 ounces. Oh, I only lost half a pound. I mean, I got to have weeks here where I lose a pound or 2. 2 is what I keep trying to be polite. Oh, I'll take a pound. No, I want 2 pounds. 2 pounds a fucking week. That's what I want. I know it's not always possible. Adrenal issues, heart issues, high stress, these can all make you crave salt. My mistake is I love popcorn. See, my girlfriend does that. She buys that movie popcorn, microwave popcorn. Okay? And it's full of not just butter, but fake butter. It's not even real butter. And by the way, should I tell you that I've watched a lot of things lately that say butter's good? Natural butter is good to eat and actually helps your metabolism. I know some people out there might agree with me, and other people will say, "Oh, that's terrible. Don't do that." There's a lot of people out there with different experiences. Some people even actually take a stick of butter and eat it like a freaking carrot. They just bite it all, Yeah, intermittent fasting is another thing that I do. Again, what's intermittent fasting? I do the 16 and 8 thing. You know, don't eat for 16 hours, then eat in an 8-hour window, then don't eat for 16 hours. Is it exact? Sometimes it's 14 hours I don't eat. Sometimes it's 17 hours I don't eat. But it's somewhere in there. I use pink Himalayan salt. Might switch to Celtic salt. Yeah, this guy Danny. Danny, why don't you just see me and Danny? He's my friend, but we all he does. You have to exercise a lot more if you want to hear it or not. Everybody else is giving me a lot of freaking advice. I've been exercising a lot, Danny. I don't see you doing anything but laying on the couch. Okay, you need to lose a few pounds too, buddy. Okay, see what I mean? All these other people. I've been talking to all these other people for 51 minutes. Not one time did they raise my dander. Not once. This guy comes on, exercise more. I'm exercising enough. Ask the expert. 40 minutes of walking is damn good. After a while, I'll go up to an hour. An hour of walking a day is more than the daily requirement. I've looked it up, and they say 20 minutes. 20 minutes of walking is actually good exercise. 20 minutes of walking. I'm doing 40. Soon I'll do 60. Don't tell me I got, Anyway. I actually have been asking AI a lot of things. A lot of things. I've been asking AI a lot of things. Yeah. Did you ever consider fasting once a week? No. I know people do it and people swear by it. I don't think it's healthy. And you know what I don't understand either? I was sick many years ago in the 1980s. I was sick. I was only in my 20s then. And it turned out that I had low blood sugar, they told me. I don't know if I still do. They told me back then I was suffering low blood sugar. I had to eat frequent small meals a day. Now, you may see pictures of me. You've seen pictures of me when I'm really skinny, right? From when I was younger, in my 20s and 30s. And I got that way by eating 5 or 6 small meals a day. So I don't know whatever happened to that. I know it works because it worked for me. It worked for me back when I was 30. So if it worked for me at 30, it worked. You can see the proof is in the pictures. I was eating no bread, no sugar, but I did have 5 or so small meals a day, whether it's a little bit of nuts, maybe an apple. I was eating 5 times. So to me, I just don't think this business about skipping days and days of not eating of food altogether. I don't think it's healthy. Now, I know some people say it's wrong. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a dietitian. I'm just telling you my own experience as a human being, as a layman. For me, I just can't see me, being healthy, going more than 18 hours or so, or 20 hours at the most without food. I just don't see it. And I probably would do better to keep my blood sugar stable instead of like skipping meals and it going down. So I've tried fasting 2 days at a time, once every couple of weeks. I suppose I could do it weekly if I wanted to speed it up, and it seems to be consistently going down. But you have to be good with hydration, and there's that too. You got to drink a lot of water. And I'm definitely retaining water. There's Redmond's real okay. So I'm definitely retaining water right now. My feet are swollen. My legs are swollen right now. But last year, in only 5 months, I eliminated that. I eliminated that through my diet, to having no bread and sugar, drinking a lot of water, and walking every day. So I believe it'll go down again. Okay, sorry, Danny, but exercise is mainly for internal health. No way can you exercise off what you eat. Losing weight is 90% food intake. Well, that's another thing too. I've heard people's experts, if out there, doctors and things, say that you can lose weight without exercising. Right? You can. But what about muscle though? You want to keep the muscle, am I right? You want to keep the muscle firm, and you don't want to lose muscle. Danny, the food affects weight loss much more than exercise. Joe is walking enough with plans to get more as he goes. So there you go. There you go, Danny. Yeah. Look, Danny means well. He's just trying to help, but now he's just being a nudge. He's just going in there and sticking it to me because there's Danny. Hello, George, music for all 4 seasons. Hello, and I disagree. That's what I love about Danny. I disagree. What are you, a doctor? You can disagree all you want. Danny's the kind of guy that thinks it's okay to smoke cigarettes. You know what I mean? Come on, Danny. That reminds me. See the way I'm going at Danny? Him and I are the 21st century odd couple. We butt heads all the time. Watch us on this channel. Watch us on Wednesday morning live for the Joe and Danny show. And if you want to go look at the playlist, I got a lot of fun shows with us going at it. Now, when you say grazing, are you talking about hypoglycemia? Is that what we're talking about? Hypoglycemic diet, and it did work. But it was more than. I guess they call it graze. I guess it was grazing. But I got a lot of books, that it's a real thing. Your blood sugar can go low. Some people, their blood sugar goes low. You can still drink those supplemental drinks while fasting, included as hydration. That helps with blood sugar. Oh, there you go. That's a point. You need to keep the muscles from atrophying if you want to protect your bones. Exactly. I hear that. Good point. Yes, I am. Not only I'm on a couple of medications, and one of them is said to cause slow metabolism. Okay, one of the medications I'm on is said to slow down metabolism and weight loss. How I forgot to mention that, I don't know. Thank you, Empty Glass, for bringing it up. And hopefully I'll be able to get off these in the future. Hello, Robbie. They're listening to Bob Seger. Very good, Robbie. Enjoy. Every time you eat, glucose goes up along with insulin, way too much. If you are insulin resistant, it's why intermittent fasting is essential to fixing a metabolism long term. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Great. Yeah. It's not really, Yeah, that's what I'm referring to. When I was on the hypoglycemic diet, you eat many small meals throughout the day. These days, they may call it grazing, but in 1988, they didn't call it grazing. I found out about that in 1988, and I did it from 1988 or so, or 89 really, till 1994. Then in 1994, I stopped, and the rest is history. So, but yeah, I guess you can consider it grazing. My asthma meds are notorious for slowing metabolism too, and the start of my taking that was directly relative to weight going on. So they just renamed it then. I think I learned of it in about 1996. Oh yeah, believe me, when you were born, Beetle Baby. I know you were born in 1985 because you always mentioned your age in the past. That's when I was at the heart of being ill. I was ill. I got ill in 1984, and I was ill from 1984 to 88, and doctors couldn't do shit. I went back and forth. They didn't know what the hell was wrong. And it turned out at the time, they said they finally gave me a glucose tolerance test after 5 years of suffering. And and have a no life. And they found out that it was, for me, it was blood sugar drops. And what I had to do was eat frequent small meals every few hours, which kept my blood sugar stable and it wouldn't go down, you know. And that's what it was. Why in 1994 I started eating any kind of sugar there was, and why I didn't get back into that state that I'd been in, how I got out of that to the point where I could eat all kinds of sugar for the last 30 plus years. I don't know. Oh, there you go. Alrighty. So again, look at this. I just hit the hour mark. I'm on an hour. We're going strong. You know, usually by the time I get to 20, 30 minutes, I'm thinking maybe I should just end it because we're not having a conversation here. But this time we're having a conversation. This is very well. So about the future again of the future of these shows. I don't know if I'll come on here I want you to check if you're interested in this and you like this. I would like you to check every Sunday to see if I'm doing this show every Sunday live. If I skip a week, I'll be back the week after. Or maybe I'll skip 2 weeks. I don't know yet, you know. It depends. But I'm still trying to do them every Sunday, you know, because I think it's important to be accountable. Hopefully this show will help me be a little accountable, you know. Yeah, I made a video about this. You know, if my opinion is they're not good. Those shots are not good for you, and I won't take them personally. On the same token, if it works for you out there, a lot of people. I made a video on this. I made a video, and a lot of people were not happy about it. You know, I don't like those kinds of things. Are you aware of counting your macros? No. There's too many negatives with those shots. Those are dangerous. That's what I feel. I mean, take a look at Sharon Osbourne and Kelly Osbourne. Give me a break. And that's why I believe natural. Even if what I'm doing is slow, even if this is a very slow way that I'm doing it, you know, at least it's natural. At least it'll stay. Because, you know, anything people try, some people try, like I know somebody that right now is drinking specially prepared protein shakes. She drinks like two shakes a day or whatever it is. And she's lost 20 pounds in 2 months, which is fantastic. What happens when you stop drinking the shakes? What happens when if you don't learn how to eat, right? If you don't go back to your old eating problems, your old eating ways, you're going to wind up gaining it back. Excuse me. Gas from the LaCroix. Yeah, and now Jack Osbourne too. You know, everybody wants an easy fix. I would like to lose it fast, but you know, well, I'll keep you all posted. I'll let you know how I'm doing. I'll let you know if you know. I don't think I'm going off the wagon anytime soon, but you know, we'll see how it's going. You don't want your organs to fail in the process. Yeah, right. You know, I hate those shake liquid diets. Not sustainable. And the loose skin is 10 times the problem when you drop too fast. That's another thing, man. I mean, I'm a long way off from worrying about loose skin. Let me tell you. I mean, you know, I got a lot on my belly, of course, right? But you know, am I going to have loose skin? Am I going to have a lot of ugly loose skin? I don't know. But the thing I figure is, I'm in my 60s, and not for nothing, but you know, I'm not going out there playing the field or anything. You know, I'm not 20 anymore. You're 30. You know, so. I don't know. Thank you, James. I know where you're headed. Macros, please ask Chat GPT and ask if to calculate your macros for weight loss. Give it your age, height, and weight. It can lay out an eating plan. It can explain what macros mean, and it'll make sense. All right. Macros. Uh, I can't. I'll write it down. Macros. Uh, calculate. Calculate my macros for weight loss quote. All right, we'll see. I know next time I see you, you'll say, "Well, did you do it?" And we'll see if I did. I try to get 75 to 90 grams of protein a day. Depending on how much loose skin there is, you can always get plastic surgery if it were to really bother you. That's what I'm saying. Plastic surgery in my 60s, I don't know about that. You know, I will stay here till the end, Joe. Oh, well, that's nice of you. Thank you. You don't have to. I know where you're going. I know, it's okay. There's another show going on right now. It's starting up. So that's why I come on earlier. All right. I try to make these no longer than an hour, but the thing is that when we start getting into conversation, a lot of you people are very appreciatively joining in. That makes me want to stay on longer, but meaning track your macros, meaning tracking your daily intake of protein, carbs, and fat, sustain a calorie deficit while protecting your muscle mass. I'll ask you about it next time. Oh, shit. I better get on it then, huh? Better get on it then. Well, macrobiotic diet. The macrobiotic. And I don't want to look like John Lennon at the end of his life. No, that's too thin. What is your your opinion of Weight Watchers? Um, I actually went to Weight Watchers with my ex-wife in 2005, and we did that for a little while. I was never serious about it at the time. I was never serious about it. I guess if it works, that's great. That's counting points, and see, I don't get into that either. Oh, count how many points this is. You ate this. That's so many points, and that's so many points. Oh, you don't go over your points. I just like the idea. Don't eat anything shitty. Don't eat fast foods. Don't drink soda. Don't eat chocolate and candy and cake and cookies and ice cream. Don't have sugar and starch and refined flour and pizza and macaroni, pasta, all that stuff, and exercise. Don't get it. I don't have to count anything. That's the way I will try to look at it. We'll see if I change my mind as the time goes on. That's a Laurel and Hardy line. Now, you know I can't eat hard-boiled eggs and nuts. Okay. I'm trying to think if I should wrap this up. I see people having nice discussions there. And I like that, you people can talk to each other too. In addition to talking with me, you can talk to each other, It's fine. And I've heard a lot about collagen too, And I do eat cheese. So people say, "Oh, don't eat cheese. No, don't eat cheese, dairy." Oh, I eat cheese. Yeah. This is great. I like seeing people talking in there, enjoying their routine. I hope you can meet me here at the same time every week. Collagen powder on its own in water is gross texturally. The coffee might add just enough body to it to notice the slimy factor. I saw a video the other day where a guy was saying that people do not eat enough, do not use enough collagen. They usually take the scoop or something. They put like one scoop or two, whatever it is. They should be using like five or something. Like he was saying that you have to have more collagen in there, and also that collagen is something that works over time. Like it's not just something you just take it. If you skip a day or two or three, you lose the value of it. You have to keep it going. Anybody know about that? Cumulative. Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. Cumulative. Uh, everybody's having a discussion which is fine in the comments. Yeah, I'm glad that people are getting into it. I almost hate to end the stream now because people are enjoying the conversation. Yeah, glucosamine chondroitin. I take it for my knees. I've been taking it since 2005. I think 21 years I've been taking glucosamine chondroitin. I swear by it. Yeah, I heard this too. That's the reason I stopped. I stopped taking. What was it? Total Beats. I was going to try to take Total Beats every day for blood pressure and stuff. Tablets, and I heard it has a lot of oxalates in it, beets, and it could cause kidney stones. Look up the video. I used AI to get it in 46 days. The YouTuber is Wrangler Star. He gets into it. Interesting. I used AI to get fit in 46 days. Let me write this down. Because I've been watching a lot of videos, There are so many videos and people out there that can help you. Okay. I credit my grandma so much for turning me on to glucosamine while I was young. Yeah, and I think my girlfriend also, she was having like arthritis, and I told her, she wouldn't listen to me for a long time. I said, look, if you take the glucosamine, it might not always work for you. It doesn't work for everybody. You got to give it a few months. Try it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And she's got a lot of relief. She got a lot of relief by taking the glucosamine. So, yeah, it seems a lot of women like the, and I think collagen has something to do with preventing hair loss too. I think if anybody's having problems with that, I mean, women or anything. Some women losing their hair. Hair, skin, and joints helps all of them. This is what I like. We get to learn stuff about each other. I'm going to take. Let me just. I'm still here. Don't worry about it. Well, I was lifting a lot of stuff when I was working as a mailman. I had to lift a lot of packages and stuff, heavy packages. Well, people, I'm having a good time here. This is the first time since I've been doing this that I really don't want to stop because everybody's getting into good conversations. But I think I'm going to stop. I don't want it to be too long. Thank you, everybody who's here. Thank you to the people that are fresh. That people I know, people like Kimba and Beetle Babe and Vivian and Laura and Empty Glass, and I'm talking about specifically Pete and Jill, of course, but people that I've heard of or know, but that haven't been here a lot. Jill's been here a lot. I gotta thank her. So thank you very much. Yep. Thank you very much, and good luck to you. Good luck to me, and let's keep going. Keep going. I'm still using that Wantpower. Forget about willpower. It's Wantpower that I have. I want to do this, and I want to succeed, and I don't want to eat crap. So thanks, everybody. Cheers.